For all children to have their needs met and their potential realised, the next government needs policies that prioritise our children. In this video, we spoke to CPAG researcher Janet McAllister about what is needed to ensure we have an income support system that uplifts the mana of all whānau. We started by asking what are the key issues with the current system.
CPAG believes there are two key ways we need to improve the income support system to better support children and their families in poverty. The first issue is that it currently acts as an instrument of humiliation. It stigmatizes people, it tells them they're doing wrong things, it blames them for not having enough, when in actual fact it's the system and our society that isn't giving these families enough to live on. That's the first issue. And then the second issue is that our core entitlements aren't high enough. They are keeping people in poverty. We aren't giving families enough money in order to feed themselves, clothe themselves, and live in safe and secure housing. It doesn't matter how much budgeting you get, if you don't have enough, you are never going to be able to make ends meet and be able to give their children what they need to reach their full potential and have well-being. The principles and the purpose of the Social Security Act need to be rewritten so that we've got dignity and well-being of all people at the heart. That's what the income support system should be for, the well-being of our children and their families and whānau, instead of continuing to be a punitive system that humiliates people and blames them for not having enough and for circumstances outside of their control. Core entitlements for people who are receiving benefits are currently well below key poverty lines. These are lines that we have near consensus of in this country. 119 out of 120 MPs voted for them, and they're key lines where government has targets to meet for the number of children living in households in poverty. And Child Poverty Action Group believes that we should be increasing core entitlements for people receiving benefits so that no children are living in poverty. Children who are currently living well below poverty lines are usually living in stressed households, so their parents are spending a lot of their waking time and creativity trying to find out how to put food on the table, how to make sure that people have a roof over their head, how to pay for school lunches and school uniforms, and extracurricular activities, sporting activities. Those things are just not even possible. So children aren't able to reach their full potential. We also know that if children are going hungry or malnourished, their parents are highly likely to have been malnourished or hungry for far longer, because parents are, the vast majority of parents are doing the best they can. It's an important task, it's a really hard task, and as a society we need to stop putting barriers in the road of people trying to do their best in difficult circumstances. They will be living in households that have less stress, so are happier, that have more well-being, that are feeling slightly more relaxed. They will be eating better food, they'll be getting their greens and their meat perhaps more often than they have currently. They will be living in warmer households, they'll be wearing better clothes, they'll be able to go to the beach occasionally, because at the moment we have families who never ever get to go to the beach. They may even be able to do extracurricular activities, do that great Kiwi childhood dream of playing sport. These things should be in reach of all our children. So Child Poverty Action Group believes that the incomes of our poorest children need to be raised, and they need to be raised immediately. One really easy and relatively cost-effective way of doing this would be to ensure that all our children are eligible for all family tax credits. At the moment, our poorest children are not eligible for what's called the in-work tax credit, which is a family subsidy, but it's related to whether you've got income from work. It's discrimination, and it means that our poorest children are missing out on subsidies which their families desperately need. So if you make that, usually it's about $72 a week available for all children, that wouldn't do everything we need in terms of raising their incomes, but it would be simple and easy to implement, and it could be done tomorrow.